Hello, my name is Barbara. Welcome to Around the WNBA. Now, as most of you might know already, some of you might know that VanLoo, who was on the Valkyries team, got waived today. When I saw that, I realized that for any player of the WNBA, for any player that's not a protected player, a waive could happen at any time. So they go into being a member of a team knowing what their status is, knowing that if they're not protected, that they can actually be waived. Now, do only bad players get waived? No. Players get waived based on probably different variables. And some of those being, are they producing on the team? Are they producing in the way that the team needs them to produce? Okay. Are they, do they have chemistry with the team? Are they getting along with their teammates? Is it an easy get along or is it a hard get along? Are they able to, practice the schemes and the actions and to know when to do this, when to do that, and to practice that on the court during play? So there are many different things that come up. All right. And one of the things that comes up also is that perhaps they have someone else that they're eyeing. Perhaps the powers that be, the ones who make the decisions about who's going to be on the team, roster, have been eyeing someone else. One of the persons that was on the in the training camp and also on the roster at one point was Chin. And during the time that there were people away for the EuroBasket or what have you, Chin came back on. And during that time, she produced. And so now Chin is on the team. And VanLoo has been waived. This is what happens. I was thinking about this. I was like, that's got to be hard. It's got to be tough for someone who is making a salary, who's, thinking they're getting along with the team, and all of a sudden they get waived. Then I thought, well, this is my process. I thought, well, is it all of a sudden? Is it really? Because I believe that some people on different teams know that they're on the way out based upon their behavior, based upon what they're not doing, based upon their non-production or lack of production, based upon lack of team chemistry, based upon how they get along with management or not, and different things that might happen that management might not agree with, just say. So some people know when they're about to leave or about to exit, probably. They might have had some discussions back and forth. But then again, there's some who don't know. They might get a phone call that says, hey, sorry, but you're waived. Especially if you're an unprotected player. And on each team, you only get a certain number of spots for protected players. I believe it's 6 spots. So if you are on a team where you're unprotected, it could happen at any time. And that's got to be tough. It's got to be tough for VanLoo, who, got this notice and is no longer on the team. So what do they do then? What happens? I looked into that. When someone is waived, they have up to 48 hours in this sort of pool of waived people, waived players, where another team could pick them up. Okay? If another team doesn't pick them up, they become free agents. So they can go wherever they might want to go. Or they might find a good fit in another team and another team might make a phone call and there you go. If a player is guaranteed their salary, when they get waived, that salary is still paid. If they are not guaranteed that salary, then it ain't happening. They don't get any money. Now, if a team does go after, or teams does go after a particular player during the time they're in this wave pool, then that team who is probably lower, on the ranks in the rankings and is the lowest one and is not, is doing poorly or what have you, they will get the first pick to that particular player. So you're not going to be in this wave pool and go to the best team that might have a liking to you. You're going to go to the team that's doing the worst. Okay? So this is what I found out about being waived and what it means. So players are pretty much savvy into what this all means and what it, where they are in terms of being protected, unprotected, having a guaranteed contract and not having a guaranteed contract. They know this going in. And so the ones who are not guaranteed, the ones who are not protected, then if they're not producing, if things are not going the way that the powers that be want it to happen, then they will be out of a salary and off a team. And hopefully someone will pick them up along the way. But they never know. Okay. So, my just thoughts go out for VANLOO. My thoughts go out for her in terms of just hopefully that she'll go to another team. She's a good player. She's not the best point guard, but she's a good player. And hopefully we'll see her play with another team in the future. But being a WNBA player is not an easy thing. Being in sports is not an easy thing. Being an athlete is not an easy thing. You have to contend with injuries if they happen. You got to contend with keeping your body in shape. You got to contend with personalities, and you got to have a strong mindset in terms of fans and or people who are pseudo fans that say different things or what have you. There's a lot coming at you, a lot, sometimes all at once. And so, just thinking about what they go through is what I've been sort of doing as I'm reading about VANLOO and thinking about being waived and what it means. Just like for any of us, if you lost your job and your job wasn't guaranteed, you'd be out of a job and you'd be out of a salary. That's got to be tough. So we wish her well in her endeavors. And I guess that's it. Hey, let me know in the comments what you're thinking about in terms of this whole being waived and what that means. And also about VANLOO, what your thoughts about her as a player and how she stacks up with other players, other guards, and in the comments, let me know. And like always, I invite you to subscribe and join my channel. And hey, give me a thumbs up too. And tap the bell so that you will be aware of when there's new content posted. Like always, my name is Barbara, around the WNBA. Until next time, go Fever, peace.